So in the Lima East mission, before it split, while I was there, the mission split into two different missions, which is kind of a testimony of how much growth is happening there with the church right now. But when I was there, we had part of the capital city of Lima, and then all the way through the Andes Mountains and towards the eastern border with Brazil, so parts of the jungle. And the church within my mission mostly were wards. We had one district with branches, which was one of the zones. But mostly they were small wards most of the time, but had been established to be wards and stakes. The church has been growing a lot since kind of in these past, I'd say 10 years or so. And it was really great for me to be there at the time I was, because we saw so many new things happen. They had only had one temple in Lima, and while I was there they announced two more, one in the north and one in the south, which is huge for the people because they would have to caravan from, the most northern provinces and come down all the way to Lima, and that was, really hard for the people to have, save up that money and to be able to come down and participate in the temple ordinances, which is, something amazing and wonderful, but just really hard for the people. So having a temple closer to them in the north and one in the south kind of divides it up and allows for a lot more people to have access to the temple now. And then as well, when I was there, they created the 100th stake, which I believe Peru is the third or fourth country in the world to do that. I think it's, not including the U.S., I think it's Mexico and Brazil and then Peru. And that was awesome. It happened to be in one of the areas that I had worked in. It split that stake, and that was really awesome because I felt like I was able to have maybe a small portion of aiding in that growth in that area. And so yeah, the church is very strong there. It has its challenges, just like any other country, with the, with inactives and trying to maintain the work and maintain the members. But it's really seen a lot of growth lately. The church hasn't been there for that long. I think in the 50s or 60s is really when the church started to actually kind of pick up there. And the temple was constructed in the 80s, and I know that was a really big thing that the early members of the church worked towards, donated a lot of money so that the temple could be built. And those early members of the church, I've had opportunities to talk with some of them, because most of those ones kind of live around the temple. Because that's where the biggest concentration of members was at the time as well. So, they've told me about, just working to get the temple built and how they were just a handful of members in the beginning, and they've seen it grow from a ward and two wards in the city of Lima to tons of stakes now, and it's pretty amazing. But